Welcome back guys, Network Expert here, and I am Paswati Pania and I will be the mentor in this video. In this video, I have taken the random questions from the internet while surfing the internet, and this is the question from the ipsysco.com, and it is the question is that ping is unsuccessful for the below topology. Which one fix this problem? Like PCA and PCB, there are two PC, and the PCA with the IP of 192.168.10.14, and the sorted max is 255.255.255.128, and PCB IP address is 192.168.10.132, and SM means subnet max is 255.255.255.128, and this is the configuration, and this PCA IP and PCB IP respectively, and the PCA and PCB are connected with the cable called crossover cable. This is the cable which is used to connect the same devices. As you know that if you have studied that theory about the crossover cable, what are the cable you can use in simultaneously devices, and these are the options. This option is valid to successfully ping between PC and PCB. And as for the state cable, state cable are used for the let's take instead of showing the theory, let's demonstrate you. This is the topology that I have created as shown in this figure. As you have crossover cable, and crossover cable, copper crossover cable. As you can see that copper crossover cable, and the PC 0, and let's type PCA, and it will be easy to understand. PCA, and this goes to the PCB. Okay, and PCA IP is this, and PCB IP will be blending this. Okay, as you can compare that, PCA IP 10.14, PCA 10.14, and PCB 10.132. Yes, so we are correct. And let's try the first option. That before trying the first option, let's ping PCA. This is this simulations. This is the simulation. This is a simulation that will show that when you pinging the IP. Before doing that, I will show you the IP address. This is the IP address PCA static, and IP address is 190.168.10.14, and respective solid mask is 255.255.255.128 PCA. And here for the PCB, and IP of PCB is 190.168.10.132, and the subnet max is 255.255.255.128. And this configuration have done in this PC, and after that I will be opening the command prompt mode, and I will ping PCB. PCB IP is 192.168.10.32. Okay, and let's first try to ping this, and it will respond or not. Let's check it. Does it forward the packet? We can fast forward it by clicking these options. Okay, just wait. I have this one. You can fast forward it. Okay, I have done. And this, as you see, there is a requested timeout. That means this PCA can't ping the PCB, and why it can't ping, and which option will be suitable to successful the ping between the PCA and PCB. Either use state cable, or be rollover cable, or use CIDR S120, CIDR S28, use CIDR S24, or set default gateway. These are the options. Let's check which option will be suitable for each and every in this configuration. Okay, before doing that, let's check the simulation that we have pinging the PCA to PCB. What the message is. Just like that, if I'm calling someone uh, to someone or some any person, if he is not there or not responding, or if he is busy, or it is in another call, or anything that stop me hearing my voices, then it will not respond. And just like here, PCA and PCB, PCB is talking like hello hello. If he is sending the message like ICMP type A, that means echo request. It will request PCA, uh, request, hey buddy, are you there, are you listening, are you there, I want to talk. If PCB replies, then yes, I'm here, let's ready, what the thing you need to do for me. Just like it will be simple. Was it? And ICMP message type 8. Let's see what ICMP message type 8 means. That means type these are the ICMP message type, and I'll be focusing on type 8. It is just sending the request, echo request, ping report used by the type A, type 0 reply ping, like PCA is sending the request, echo request, and if PCB responds, that will be type 0, that is echo reply. Okay, only just sending the PC, sending the echo request. Then it is not getting the echo reply from the PCB. So what thing we have to do, that PCB will send the ICMP message type 0, so they can communicate PCA and PCB both. Let's try first option. What is the first option? It told that use state cable. As you have watched my previous video, you might have some idea why do we use, and when we use state cable. Just take this. I have a router and the switch, and if I have router and router, there is a two router, and if I have two switch, which type of configuration are needed to connect the same devices or the different devices, as I show you guys. Okay, and there is a PC and the router, and there is a switch, and there is a PC. Okay, this is the I will showing you which device. If you connect now, if you need to connect two different devices, which type of cable you will be using, like this like I will do look. To connect the two different devices, we need to use, what do we need to use? We need to use uh, copper straight through cable. That means to connect the different devices, we use copper straight through cable. That means option A is totally wrong. Okay, we use straight cable means to connect the different devices. If we have to connect two different devices, we use copper straight cable. Copper straight cable. And this in what is the connection between the switch and switch, also the, if the two devices, look that it is the, if you connect the, if you connect the router and the switch, we need copper straight through. If you connect between devices, same devices, if you connect to same devices, what, which cable you will be using? We will be using copper crossover cable. Copper crossover cable is used when we have to connect, when we need to connect, okay, when we need to connect two same devices. Just like what, which cable do we need to connect router 1 and router 2, and let's check. It will be using copper crossover cable to connect same devices to same devices. Okay, to connect two different devices, we use copper straight through cable. It's like here is the PC and the router, and these are the, as you can see here, only the switch, and here is switch and the PC. Look, you need to understand, guys. If you need to connect the PC with the router, we will be using copper crossover cable, because here is a two different devices. Okay, cross cable is used in the, it is the exception case, guys. This is the exception case. To connect crossover cable. Okay. Now, as we know that crossover cable is used to connect same devices is here switch 1 and switch 2, router 1 and router 2. This is these two topology are connected each other by using crossover cable. And to connect between and PC2 and router, we use need is cross copper cable, cross over copper cable, cross over copper cable. Okay, these are the basic things you need to guys understand. Okay, and to connect two different devices, we will be using straight through cable. Okay, we will be using straight through cable. And if we need to connect PC and the switch, we will be using straight through cable, copper straight through cable. Okay, this is the very important topic, guys. You need to understand. What I will be using that COPPERSTRAI straight TRO, you use it through CIDR straight through cable, and the COPPERCROSS over CABL. Copper crossover cable is used to connect to same devices, but it is exception in the scenario if we need to connect PC2 and the router. Okay, this is the different device one. And the copper straight through cable will be used to connect the two different devices, as you can see here, to connect the router and the switch, and the connection between switch and the PC. I hope guys you have the clear understanding why you use crossover cable and the copper straight through cable, in which scenario we will be using crossover cable, or in which scenario we will be using copper straight through cable. Okay, as you see, you have connected between the PC and PC, and for PC and PC we will be using as a copper crossover cable. Okay, we will be using copper crossover cable to connect crossover current to same devices, but there is exception between the router and the PC. As you are getting the point, that means straight to cable is the wrong option. Okay, this one is the wrong option. And use rollover cable. When we use rollover cable, okay, when we use rollover cable, the rollover cable are used in that scenario if we need to configure something like to access the terminal. Just like this is the router, and I have here PC, and the rollover cable or the console cable that are used, and the fast Ethernet and the auxiliary. Yes, from that you will be getting the terminal of the Cisco. You will be taking control of the router of, and the command terminal, and wait for a few minutes. Here is the terminal. Okay, what guys going on? Okay, and to assist the console cable if you need to configure, okay, if you need to configure the interface of this CLI interface of the switch of the router, we need rollover cable to configure it. Just like here is the PC and here is a switch, and to take a desktop and the terminal, let's see, here is the to access the console, to access the to use the configure command line CLI of router, we will be using rollover cable to configure the router and the switch. As we see, we have the two options. Like here we can go to the CLI directly. If we have directly, if the switch or the router are nearby us, we will be directly clicking on the router and the CLI. We will be getting the router switch interface to configure the switch or the router. If we are far from the switch or the router, we will be using the rollover cable to access the command terminal line of the switch and the router. Just like if I click the laptop, and after clicking the laptop, and the terminal will be opening. After clicking the terminal, we'll be selecting the OK. After that, we'll be accessing the command line CLI of the switch or the router. Just like we can here easily do this from the our laptop. Configure terminal or that in so interface create like so interface. So like what will be the next command last like so IP interface which will be like giving the detail of the switch or the router interface from the laptop. Okay, as you see that rollover cable is also the wrong option here. And what about the set default gateway? Yes, we have configured. Let's delete it. Yes, yes, I have configured here the IP address and the default gateway of this subnet max will be like 192 192.168.10.1 will be the default gateway IP of this network. As you see, after this, I will be clicking. I will be exiting the terminal, and if you go in slash or slash and you will be here you will display the default gateway as I have configured default gateway, and this is the IP address and the submitter max address, and this configure on the PCB, and it's like 192.168.110.128 128 will be the, as you see there is a 128 after 0 up to the 128 will be the one network, and the 128 and 2 from the jumping is 128 and 128 up to the 255. Here will be the 129 will be the default, 128 will be the default network ID, and 129 will be the yes, I have entered the default gateway of this network. Okay, and 129 will be the default gateway of this PCB router. Okay, after closing it, let's check id slash and this is the default gateway. After configuring the default gateway, uh, we ping successfully ping the PC between the PC and PCB, or can we successfully establish the connection between PC and PCB? Let's check it. And after doing that, let's reset the simulation, and again let's click this, or not again switch one, or not using. Let's delete this everything, delete, and let's delete this one too. Now everything is clear. Let's reset this simulation, and let's take PCA again. Type PIN 192.168.10. What is this? what the IP of this PCB, and 10.132 can be pinged successfully or not. Here PCA send echo request to the PCB, and PCB will not respond. If it did not respond, it will be getting timeout. It will, if it responds, that will be getting the message type ICMP message type 0. Like PCA is sending the echo request, is the ICMP message type 8. As you see, again it's requesting PCA to like saying echo request PCA. PCA is sending the echo request message. ICMP message type 8. uh, and he's getting no response from the PCB. Like PCB will be like, I'm not receiving ICMP message type 0 is the request one last time. Is timeout. Look, that means we did not successfully receive the message on the PCA to PCB. PCA, like it will be sending the message, right, to the respective IP, like 10. This you need to guys understand, okay? Input and output. This is the message received by the PCB port and Ethernet, and this is the message received by by the PCB. And PCA will send the message like PCA and PCB layer 2, and this is the message information at the device PCA. That means this option, like by changing this by setting the default gateway, will not be successfully pinging between the, or the connection between the PC and the PCB. So what we need to do is there is also two options available. Let's check these two options. Okay, two options will be like using by using /24 mean like that 255 means, and 3 is that means 24 bit 4 bit is will be 28, and after that 128 192 224 240 will be the submit marks. Okay, and the jumping and the jumping value, or the block size, will be 256 minus 240 will be 16, and the number of network will be to the power n means number of on host bit. This will be the on host bit, network bit. This one with the, this one will be representing the network bit, and remaining 4 will be representing the host bit. Like to power n to power n, and that means 4 is 4 to the power 4 means that when we have 4 1, so we will be writing 4, and 2 power 4 will be 16, and the number of hosts. Guys, you have already familiar with the subnet, so I will not be spelling about all the details inside it. Inside it. So, so doing that, we have, as if we use slash using the CIDR S28, can we able to ping the establish the connection between the PC and the PCB? What do you think, guys? As you see that 14 is the IP address of the PC PCA, and PCB will be the 32 mean in this separate network, like 128 132 64, and you will be writing like that 192.168.10.48. As you see, we are playing calculator CAL calculator, and 48 plus 16 will be 64, and the plus 16 will be 80, 180, and adding some new below 1 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll be adding some new column, just like 192.168.16.10.180, 180 not 80 only, 80, and plus 16, 96, 96. There will be copy and paste, will be 96 and 96 plus 16, 112, 112, and next one will be the 112, and as it 112 and plus 16, like 128, 128. Okay, like this. And what is the, so what is the address of the 132? 132, 128 plus 16 will be the 144, and 192.168 dot 10 dot 144. Let's see, 128 plus 16 will be 144. Okay, 128 plus 16 will be 144, and the IP address of this PCB is 132, 132, 132 means between the 128, that will be 192.168.129, and the ranges from the IP up to the 192.168.10.143 will be the broadcast address, and the last IP of this range is 192.168.142 will be the last IP of this network. That means the PCB having the IP address of 132 fall between the 192.168.129 to the 128, 192.168.124. It's between them, and the default gateway will be 129. Okay, and let's check this one. What is the default gateway? Default gateway of this is 129. So after configuring, in spite of configuring /28, we are unable to ping between, establish the connection between PC and the PCB. That means using CIDR as a 28 will be the wrong option. What if we use this last option, remaining last option, using CIDR S24? Let's check this example. If we use if you use as a /24 by doing subnet mask, and the network will be the 1, and subnet mask of this network will be the, and the 255.255.255.0, and this is the blocks of jumping value. We have a block SIJ site or JAMP something value. And V56, like first network will be the network ID 192.168.10.24, and they'll, and after jumping from the 0, they will take 256. I'll be jumping to 56, and the broadcast ID of the net 192.168.10.0 network will be the 192.168.10.255 is the broadcast ID, and the valid host ranges from the 192.168.10.1 up to the 192.168.10.254 will be the valid host range. These are the valid host range. Let's configure this /24. After doing this, /24 means that I will be giving this ID, and this /24 0, and the default gateway will be the 10.1. And after closing it, we'll configure this one. Let's go to this. After configuring, why no, yes, we did not need to change the IP address of this one. Okay, as we see IP address of 14, we just use the with /24 okay. Configuration ID, yes, I have done everything is right in right position, and desktop and it's IP, and we will be using the /24, and after using this 0, and default gateway will be 1, and after closing this, okay, let's ping PC and PCB command format. uh, can we ping the can we successfully establish the connection between the PCA and the PCB? What are the things we need to do? Let's check it. Let's fast forward. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, I think we have already. Let's check this one. As you see, I have successfully established the connection between the PC and the PCB. That means which option is the correct one, guys? Let's which option will be the correct? As you here, as you have seen by practical demonstration, the option D will be the correct option. And let's take one another thing. I'll be doing the setup change in the default gateway. Let's uh, if I remove the default gate address, what will be do? And what will be do? What will be doing? That's like, but let's check it. See, the configuration all. We do not have any default gateway in the PCB and the PCA. PCA IP 0 as you can see, 0 n as you can /all, and also do not have any default gateway in the PCA. Does it establish the connection between the PC and the PCB? What do you think, guys? What do you think, guys? Let's think 132. Plus slide. I will fast forwarding. Okay. After you have forwarded that message, let's check. That means we can easily establish the connection between the PCA and the PCB by using /24. Okay, /24. That means only option D will be the correct answer, guys. Only option D will be the correct answer. It's taking a lot of time to getting the response we or to establish the connection between the PCB. That is 2D as it had established the connection. So this option you have successfully pinning the option. Look again. PCA will be sending the PCB echo request, and the PCB will be replying with echo reply, and the PCA, that means ICMP type A, ICMP type 8 will be message to the PCB, and IP will be replying with ICMP message type 0 echo reply. Okay, echo request and echo reply. Hope you guys have understand what I am trying to say, demonstrating between and which of the option is correct. Why none of option except D is correct. I have given you the reason. Hope you guys have understand. So guys, hope you have practiced like this. You have to figure each and every options why it is not correct, why or why it is correct. What are the things we need to do to get the answer. These are the way to demonstrate it, guys. Hope you guys understand. And guys, one thing that if you have not watched my if you are finding the difficulties in the subnetting, then I have a playlist uh, in my YouTube channel. You will be amazed to watch that I have made the video to how to do subnet, and how to do subnet, and how to convert the binary number to decimal number, decimal to binary number, and other a lot of interesting stuff are available in my YouTube channel. So guys, this only one question will be enough for this today. So guys, see you in the next video. Enjoy. Have a good day.